Okay, so talk us through the production process and basically what you did with the songs in order to make them sound like the songs from the source material.
Well, first it would be listening to the albums in depth. First of all, working out tempos, trying to see whether they waver at all, whether they have been recorded with a click or without. Laura Marling, for instance, had a natural ebb and flow with the music, and so you could tell that it was just a live take with no click. Vampire Weekend, on the other hand, involved a lot of overdubs, and you could hear that in the mix, but also it was very robotic and metronomic in its rhythm. But yeah, it would be a case of research, finding out how they've recorded and produced and mixed their albums, and then we try it out in a few demos of the songs that we've written here, and then after that, if we've got research for miking techniques, then when we go in to record the actual songs, we use the closest mics possible and try and replicate those to as close as possible to the way they recorded. Then after that, it will be, in the way I worked, I get a reference track from one of the albums. So when I did the Amy's The Water, I got a which one was it?
There's Mannequin.
That's it. My Mannequin, I put that in the mix, and then I constantly refer to that as I'm working. So if there's lots of mid-range taken out of that, then I try and replicate that in my mix. Same with panning, levels, and then reverb. That was on the vocals and guitar.
Is there anything you feel like you've done completely differently, like sort of because their methods were sort of it just wouldn't work, or what was best for the track?
Well, with The Water, I wanted to take the mid-range out, but because we've got guitars played on the low, playing low notes, and then the piano playing full chords in the middle of the keyboard, violins also, there's a lot of mid-range that's in the actual spectrum, and so if we were to take that out, we'd get a very empty song. And so I tried it when mastering, and it just didn't work. It sounded very hollow and thin. It took a lot of the qualities and characteristics of the song away. And so I tried to take some of them out, but that was one of the problems with Raikuda. It was difficult to try and get the voice the same. It was very warm and quite low end. Same with a lot of the song actually. Had a very warm mid-range feel to it, but as much as I tried, the takes that we had in the recordings just didn't cater for that kind of feel. So the bass, for instance, just didn't cut through. Like the Raikuda one, which was a double bass, we used the DI bass. We had to keep a few of the high frequencies on there as well. It's mainly frequencies was the main problem.
Okay. So how important do you think it is to have songs that are similar to the source material, or production styles that are similar to it, or do you think it's better to have our own songs that take reference from it and use those instead?
I think it depends on the songs. If there's a lot of production that's gone into a song, then hang on, let me rephrase that. If a song is built upon the production side of things, then we should copy that. If it's more compositional stuff and there's not a lot of production that's gone into it, such as Laura Marling, then we should focus on the compositional side of things and take it that way. Of course, there are compositional elements from every song that you want to add into your own stuff, but I think you have to look at how much of an effect composition and or production has on the song, and then work from it that way. Work about it that way.
Yeah, that's it. Done. Thanks.